Hello and welcome to my reflections on day 63 of the Tao. So what does the Tao have to say today? There is beauty in keeping things small. So once again I had to read this a few times. What did I conclude? Well, I concluded a couple of things actually. And the old, real cheesy management type phrase came to mind. How do you eat a chocolate elephant? One piece at a time. Keep things small in order to be able to get things done. I think there's two elements to this. One is a very personal element around we can quite easily at times create a sense of overwhelm because of the enormity of what needs to get done or can get done or is required to get done. But also in that process, we can maybe make ourselves unresourceful and not necessarily put ourselves in a place in a space where we can truly achieve what it is that we want to achieve. But also by keeping things small, by being able to break them down and to be able to build them or connect with them or accomplish them one piece at a time, it gives us the capacity and the ability to at times pay a level of attention to detail. It gives us the ability to really focus on what needs to get done. It gives us the capacity to be able to just achieve some really cool things in a really cool way. It also encourages us to pay attention to things early. Often things get big and can get quite overwhelming because we procrastinate, because we let them run. And there's a few procrastinators in my life and then end up getting quite overwhelmed by the scale of what is at hand, as opposed to sometimes small is simply by paying attention to a level of detail early. Today just felt as though it was about, for me personally, paying attention to things, about being attentive to everyone and everything around me. And by doing that, then actually what you get to notice is that in a conversation with someone, and this is something that's inherent in what I do as a coach, is if you pay attention to them, then actually you can start to pick up on how they think and feel quite early on in the conversation, almost instantaneously, moment by moment, in order to support them, in order to be able to help them explore how they think and feel. Because if we, every big problem, every big challenge started as a small one, and it grew. And if we pay attention to it early, but likewise when it has got big, what we need to do sometimes is to think about what we can and can't influence. Often people get quite overwhelmed and can get a little bit unresourceful because they experience a sense of overwhelm and don't necessarily appreciate what they can and can't influence. And by making things sometimes a little bit smaller, what we realise is that we recognise what we can influence. And it's a really powerful thing to be able to make a difference in the things that we can influence, as long as we pay attention to what we're influencing and how we're doing it. If we're forcing our way into something to force a level of compliance or control, then that isn't the Tao either. But in the same way, a surfer works with the wave in order to be able to match its speed, in order to be able to ride it and accelerate and to use it as part of their performance, then we need to work with and influence and to be able to make the most of what is being presented to us. And so to be in harmony with things, to be able to understand what we can influence and where we can make the best of things, to be able to break things down in order to be able to recognise that we can make a difference. And all of those little differences can come together to be really powerful. And that goes for us as human beings, is that more of us need to come together, more of us that believe that we can make a difference, because there are times when I may be small and my influence may be limited. But actually, when I find other people that think and feel similar things to the way that I do and want to be able to bring a sense of flow and natural order to a place and a space, then together we can become really mighty. and we can have great influence. So I'm just going to put it out there. Drop me an email, drop me a line. Say hello. If you are a like-minded soul that has enjoyed listening to all these, then let's create a tribe of people that are going to try and make a difference and influence the world, and or even just the community that we're part of. So I shall see you all tomorrow on day 64.